As you may know, I'm a big fan of horror movies, and there is two certain eras that I particularly enjoy and really love. That's the 70s and the 80s. And the movie I'm about to talk about now is from 1980 to be specific, and it's directed by, yeah, I guess you can consider him one of the all-time greats in the horror movie realm, Mr. John Carpenter. And the movie is The Fog on Blu-ray. Yeah, it's I think it's really nice picture here and everything, and we have the back. So the only gripe I have with this edition is that there's no fucking special features, no bonus material whatsoever. You know, it's preposterous, considering that I have seen that there has been a 2-disc version of the movie. It had a documentary on it, for Christ's sake. Why not include it on this? I just don't know. I don't get it. But anyway, the movie in itself is really fucking good, I think. It's very atmospheric and very ghost-like. It basically feels like, it really feels like a ghost story. You know. It's a very simple premise also, because it's about this curse and stuff, and then shit starts happening, and because of this curse that this little community Antonio Bay has placed over it, so to speak, and the curse comes in the shape of fog. And fog, I think it's quite brilliant, because you can't escape the fog, you know. It's inescapable. You cannot. It will find you eventually. It will find you wherever you are. And that really shows they did a well in the movie, I think, because you can really see when the fog just slips under through a closed hatch, or under a door, or through fucking chimney, or what fucking ever, you know. It's really nice, and I really like the special effects in the movie all around. I like the fact that all these pirate ghosts or ghouls or whatever they are, these beings that comes back from the dead, that rises up from the cold water and the cold grave to avenge, to find these 6 conspirators and all that stuff. It's really nice. They're just, because they're black, you know, not like in black as in a black dude, but the makeup and costume, wardrobe and everything is just black, plain black. So when they have like red, one of them at least, I think it is Blake, the sort of leader for them, to the leader. He even has red eyes, you know. They have swords and these like hooks that they use to like kill people with, you know, and drag them off and whatnot. Just a little side note here, anecdote. The guy who plays Blake in the movie, the leader for the Ghost, is actually is Rob Bottin, who was the special effects and chief supervisor for the special effects on The Thing. Just a little anecdote there. I thought it was really neat, and I think it's John Carpenter in the beginning of the movie who talks with a priest in the church. Also, I like when directors do that. I mean, Alfred Hitchcock did the same with his movies. You know, he makes a small appearance just for a second or so, and you can briefly spot him. I like when directors do that, you know, and like Dario Argento does the same thing as well. Only he shows his hands, you know. Like, yeah. Anyway, getting off track here. Sidetracked. And I like the fact that the fog opens up with a man like what you call it, dangling this golden clock in the chain, and just snaps it shut and says 5 more minutes to 12 o'clock or to midnight or whatever he says, something like 5 minutes till the witching hour begins. Ooh, you know, like it really opens up like a typical ghost story, you know. And this old man sits there. This old, I believe I would guess he's an old sailor or something, judging by his hat. He basically sits there and tells this story, this sort of legend for all around the campfire on the beach for all these kids, and after that, yeah, shit starts to hit the fan. After that, there's just these shots of the whole Antonio Bay, you know, and certain areas, and where things just go fucking crazy. I mean, like, for one instance, they shoot like you see a gas station and the pump by the pumps, you know, that you use, and this fuck's it called? Like this handle that you use when you refuel your car, you know, at the gas station. Yeah, it just goes down like this. It's like someone just pulling it down there, but you don't see anyone doing it, and it's just, yeah, it's cut together so fast, you know, and then it starts, and then there's this car elevator with a car on it that just starts to go up like this, starts to lift itself, and it's in the middle of the night during the witching hour, of course. Really nice analogies to that stuff, and yeah, like chairs just pulled in towards tables and like this really fast, like, and clock faces just breaks, and yeah, it's fucking crazy, and then it just gets weirder and weirder from there. And then of course the fog itself comes in over the Antonio Bay, and then it sort of turns into like this. It's like the fog is chasing after these people that you meet during the movie. It's like it becomes this group, like little group of survivors that you follow, you know. And it's like the fog is chasing them, and these pirate ghost ghouls are chasing them, and so on. But it really works. It really works. It really does. At least I feel so. I think so. It really works very well. And I guess the fact that it does is just this atmosphere and the lighting, you know. So the atmosphere and the lighting is those two things are very important for this movie, The Fog. It's an amazing atmosphere, you know. Well, amazing. It's a really nice one, at least, and it keeps you like interested in the movie, almost hypnotized by the movie, you know. Like you just sit there and you have a good time, you know, and you just. And yet there's not one of these characters that you just like feel, can't she just die already? No character like that at all, actually, which I find really very nice, actually, because I see that so often in today's horror movies, like, and I think it really began with it maybe began with Halloween. I don't know, but like I remember in Scream, those movies. There was these characters that you just felt like, well, I don't care if this bitch dies or this douchebag dies or whatever, you know. But in John Carpenter's, or in The Fog and The Thing, that's just not the case at all. So So yeah, I really enjoy The Fog, and I'll probably watch it more times. Definitely, I think it's really good film. And it has this certain mystic aura of mystique over it, you know, somehow. Like I said, the only gripe I have with it, despite it being on Blu-ray, and the sound and picture they're pretty okay, you know, considering it's so old. But yeah, I'll say the picture is it's fine, you know. It's really fine. It's okay. You can look at it without your eyes going without it hurting in your eyes, and the sound is quite good as well. So nothing wrong with with those things. But please, why not just a fucking commentary track or a trailer or documentary or featurette or something about the movie, you know? What, did you think that the fog isn't a popular movie? Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I don't get it, because the thing has a ton of extras. You know, it's at least a couple of hours of extras on that one. So why the fuck couldn't the fog get that same treatment? You know, it's just fucking unbelievable. But The Fog, it's a very nice horror movie. And it really feels, it sort of feels like it was made in the 80s, like you can really tell. But I mean, like, that doesn't matter anyway, you know. If it is like, if you want to see some old and really well, an old but really well made horror movie, which is basically like a ghost movie, basically, because that's what it is to me, ghost movie, ghost story. I can highly recommend this one, The Fog. And overall, I will give this whole edition, this copy, I would probably give it a 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5, you know. It's just, yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I really do. Who knows? In a few years, maybe one of my favorite movies, or maybe even in a few months. Who knows? But so yeah, it's fucking amazing. It's a wonderful movie, and I can highly recommend it to all you fine folks out there on YouTube tonight.